Hi there, I'm Linda Schnur. Welcome to Module Lesson 2, Interior Design Principles and Elements, part of my video training series on interior design. I'm here to share my knowledge and provide professional advice to help you with color selection, space planning, lighting, furniture selection, and then putting it all together for a solution. If you haven't seen Module 1, Introduction to Interior Design, you can scroll down to watch the posted video. So here's a little bit about me. I'm the owner of CPI Interior Design Consultants. I'm half Aboriginal Cree and half German, and am the mother of one. My personal interests include the visual arts, photography, hiking, and cycling. Professionally, I'm a creative designer for interior architectural environments and an interior stylist. Alright, so let's get on with Module 2. So the principles of interior design can be learned, understood, and used by anyone. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to recognize and use the basic principles and elements used by every interior designer to create the foundation for a beautiful space. The 6 principles are concepts used to organize or arrange the elements of design. Again, the way in which these principles are applied affects the content or the message of the work. The 6 principles are scale and proportion, unity and harmony, balance, rhythm, emphasis, and contrast. So let's begin with scale and proportion. These 2 design principles go hand in hand. Both relate to the relationship of size, shape, or color of objects. Proportion has to do with the ratio of one design element to another, or one element to the whole. Scale concerns itself with the size of one object compared to another. For example, a high-ceilinged and large open space should have large furniture. Or another example of what not to do is using small pillows on a big sofa. Those small pillows will look lost, so we don't want to do that. Okay, let's look at unity and harmony, which is the blending of lines, forms, colors, patterns, and textures. Unity is the relationship of the various parts of a space and how they relate to each other. Items with similarity of color, pattern, and texture complement each other and can be easily grouped or repeated. Dissimilar items should be separated and have a transition between them, a neutral transition. You can use a white color or a gray color, or you can use space as the transition between the dissimilar items. So we don't want them to go directly side by side. For example, a room with a soft palette and feminine feel would be thrown off by angular modern furniture. Or a coat of glossy paint can unify mismatched picture frames to create a harmonious relationship. Create harmony by considering the overall emotion of a space. A blending of similar furnishings and colors can be calming and peaceful. Or the introduction of angular objects paired with soft rounded pieces can inject a visual tension that is exciting and dynamic and visually pleasing. Or you could use coordinating fabrics on upholstered furniture of different styles to bring the look together. Okay, think of the house as a totality, a series of spaces that are linked together by halls and stairways. It's therefore appropriate that a common style and theme run throughout. That's not to say all the elements should be the same, but they should work together and complement each other to strengthen the visual story. A way to create this theme or story is with a thoughtful use of color. Color schemes in general are a great way to unify a collection of spaces. For example, you might pick 3 or 4 colors and use them in varying shades from one room to the next. Alright, so the next one is balance. Balance can be described as the equal distribution of visual weight in a room. There are 3 styles or types of balance: symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial. Symmetrical balance is usually found in traditional interiors. It's characterized by the same objects repeated in the same positions on either side of a vertical axis. You might remember old rooms where each side of a room is the exact mirror of the other. This symmetry also reflects the human form, so we're automatically comfortable in a balanced setting. Asymmetrical balance is more appropriate in design of a modern nature. Balance is achieved through dissimilar objects that have equal weight or eye attraction. Asymmetrical balance is more casual and less contrived in feeling, but more difficult to achieve. It suggests movement and leads to more lively interiors. And finally, radial symmetry is when all the elements of a design are arranged around a center point. A spiral staircase is a good example of radial balance. It's not often used in residential homes just because it takes quite a bit amount of space to do that. So it's usually used in commercial interiors, but you're free to try. It's repeating an object in a circular pattern. So rhythm is the next one. In interior design, it's all about pattern repetition. Rhythm is defined as a continuity, recurrence, or organized movement. To achieve these themes in design, you need to think about repetition, progression, and transition. Repetition is the repeated use of a design element in an orderly arrangement. Progression is the arranging of elements based on their size, color, or tone. For example, arranging larger to smaller sized items. Transition is alternating elements in an alternating pattern like A, B, C, A, B, C. Using these themes will impart a sense of movement to your space, leading the eye from one design element to another. Okay, so the next one is emphasis. Emphasis refers to the focal point of a space. Elements like line, color, pattern, shape, or texture are used to highlight and reinforce a focal point where our attention is drawn to first when we enter a room. Other items in a space, like the arrangement of furniture to frame a fireplace, supports the focal point, and it also reinforces the purpose of that space. Okay, so the next one is contrast. Contrast places opposites of color, form, and space side by side to highlight the difference from one another. For example, such as black and white, or circular and square, filled and empty space, or centered and off-centered, transparent and opaque. The trick is to balance the contrast to maintain visual unity. So let's move on to the 5 elements of design: line, shape, space, form, texture, and color. A line can be used in a number of ways to direct a person's eye to the organization of a layout, to help create a mood, or used in multiples to create rhythm and movement. Vertical and horizontal lines can affect the perception of a room. Vertical lines add height and strength. You'll see vertical lines used in bookcases, floor-to-ceiling panels. Horizontal lines give a feeling of solidness and stability. Examples include dressers, low bookshelves, and other low furniture. Diagonal lines give a feeling of movement in a room. Examples include slanted ceilings, weaved furniture. Wavy lines add a flowing softness and create like a feminine feel, which gives also a feeling of movement. Curved lines can be found in archways and curved furniture. Single lines can define a shape, and multiple lines can add visual texture. Take care to balance the use of curved and straight lines, otherwise you're introducing too much visual noise. So let's move on to shape or form. The contour of an object makes up its shape. For example, a tabletop can be round, regular, square, or oval. Furniture makes form in a room, and its arrangement in a room can create different effects. A large, heavy object can create a feeling of stability. Too much variety in shapes creates a feeling of confusion. No variety creates monotony. So the three different types of shapes are geometric, natural, and abstract. Geometric shapes are triangles, squares, rectangles, and circles. They're regular and structured and make excellent building blocks of design. Natural shapes are plants, animal or human, and are irregular and fluid. For example, a rectangular shape can be used to frame a section of wall, and then you can add wallpaper with a curvy ivy image to soften the hardness of the straight lines. The next one is space. Space is the area in which everything is arranged. An empty room is a space. A well-planned and clutter-free space makes an efficient and restful home. Large open spaces give a feeling of freedom and sometimes luxury. For example, a large foyer, which is open and airy. Empty spaces with high ceilings and minimal furnishings create a feeling of loneliness. So let's move on to texture. Texture in design is defined by the surface characteristics of a material, which can be experienced through touch. It can be used to accent an area that you want to focus on or make it more dominant than another. Or you can use it to avoid attention for an element. For example, a marble tabletop is smooth and cold. Tweed fabric is rough and warm, and velvet looks warm and soft. Texture can be a very powerful tool to create feelings in a room. Adding too much texture creates highly busy spaces and tires the eye. Smooth velvet, and a chunky knitted throw blanket adds a feeling of warmth. Okay, so the last one is color, which is also called hue. Color impacts the atmosphere that you want to create. It plays a large role, so I've actually coupled it with light in module lesson 3. I'm not going to talk too much about color because there's so much to talk about, so you're going to have to watch the next video. So that's it for the principles and elements of design. Thank you for watching, and I hope that the information provided in this video helps you to redesign and restyle your home. Or if you need friendly professional advice or help, you can choose one of my coaching packages, either one-on-one coaching or group coaching. With the 3-month one-on-one coaching, you will get a custom inspiration board, furniture plan, decorating tips, 1-hour weekly calls to discuss your ideas and concerns, templates to help you stay on budget and on schedule, and access to a members-only forum for design ideas and solutions. With the group coaching package, we'll share ideas and learnings, and I'll provide observation and advice. You will access templates to help you stay on budget and on schedule, and access to the members-only forum for design ideas and solutions. So, sign up and lock in your 3-month price for just $99. That's $33 a month. Enhance your lifestyle by clarifying and improving the layout of your home and increase its functionality and look. You will experience support, success, accomplishment, progress, focus, happiness, well-being, and you will have fun with other like-minded community members. So contact me for more information by emailing me through Facebook or creativedesigntoronto@gmail.com, and I will get in contact with you. When you like my page, you will get updates on the latest interior design tips, tricks, and tools to help you style your home. So go ahead and follow me. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.